best thing you've ever had in your life?
Yes.
The first day of spring usually brings a lot of emotions. Excitement at the start of a new season, the weather getting warmer, sidewalks and outdoor cafes slowly filling with more people and more life. It's also the time where we start shedding our heavy coats and trading them in for lighter sweaters and eventually shorts and tank tops. Despite the positive energy radiating from the rest of the world, I've always felt a growing sense of anxiety and unease around March because it means that summer is just a few short months away. Which means bikini season, tanning season, slay on the gram season, and the season where I spend more time than I care to admit feeling inadequate in just about every photo my friends insist on taking during a weekend in Vegas or a day trip to the beach. To me, summer is a reminder of everything I wish I was and everything that I'm not. I don't remember the exact moment when I started to hate my body. Xian's famous foods that used to be open a block from us, or a couple blocks from us, just reopened after they had closed during the panini. I got the lamb and Albie got the beef noodle soup, and we have some cucumber salad as well. Growing up, I always ate exactly what I wanted without a second thought. Sweets and snacks at any time of day. Seconds, yes please. I remember being full and happy and not even really knowing what a calorie was. Maybe it was when I told my best friend in the 5th grade that I loved Lunchables so much I could eat them every day, and she told me that if I did that, I would get fat. Or maybe it was that one day in 7th grade when I was sitting in the car on my way to school and looked down at my thighs for the first time. I mean, really looked at them, pressed wide and flat against the car seat, and asked my mom, do my legs look like they're getting bigger? Or maybe it was the handful of times my stepdad told me I would only grow up pretty if I took care of myself, which was his way of not so subtly warning me not to gain weight. Or maybe there wasn't any singular moment. Maybe it was just 1,000 tiny, deep little cuts that added up over time.
See the light of the storm.
Should have brought the selfie stick.
Should have brought the selfie stick.
In the empty phone. In the silence.
How is it?
Good. Try some.
Very crispy. It was salty. Hey.
Sorry.
Rude.
I can't find it anywhere else.
Okay, so I just recorded myself eating and talking, and I didn't realize that my mic wasn't on. So we're gonna do this again. Take 2. I just finished my workout and just took a shower. Ignore any background sounds you're hearing. That's Albie's YouTube while he takes a shower. Heated up some leftovers. I made spaghetti squash for the first time last week, and I'm eating it with some meatballs. I already ate most of them because, again, I thought I was filming while I was eating before. I used to make more of these kind of like alternative noodles and grains a few years ago, just because I didn't really want to eat too many calories or carbs with grains, but I feel like I have evolved past that point in my life. And if I want to eat pasta, I just eat pasta. So that's to say that this is not really normal for me, and I'm not doing it because I want like an alternative grain base. I just wanted to experiment with something new. And I'm very happy I can enjoy normal foods again. I signed up for my first gym membership during my junior year of high school and downloaded MyFitnessPal. It was the first time I'd gained enough weight to be considered quote-unquote chubby, and when I returned to school for my senior year and finally had my first boyfriend, He told me that I looked so much better now that I had lost weight. It was the first time I was ever validated for being thin. That year was also the year I learned that being thin meant being accepted, being admired, being good enough. It was also when I learned that being even a few pounds over what society deemed attractive would mean that I was ugly or a failure.
It is so nice outside. I don't think I've felt the sun on my face in months. It's like 70 degrees out, mid-March. This is wild. It's Friday. It's time to go out, enjoy the sunshine. I'm about to go meet.
My weight would continue to fluctuate through the years through a never-ending cycle of yo-yo dieting. Restricting, binging, obsessing, tracking, squeezing in a 3-mile run at the gym just to burn off the dessert I hadn't planned on eating and hadn't accounted for in my daily calorie limit. And through my obsession with losing weight, I started to hate what I saw in the mirror whenever I gained it back. When the muffin top returned and my thighs started to touch, I'd think that I wasn't worth loving anymore.
Be living in Denver.
Tell me about your fitness.
As I'm like panting because of the elevation. Okay, I'm fine now. We're good. I work out.
They're really good. Do you want to touch them?
So if you get why is it so hard?
The fits.
Makes me sing, but don't you for 1 second think.
Jordan Day.
These are Jordans. These are Nike Dunks.
Oh, that's the ones I want.
These ones? There you go.
You know what the funny thing is? The times I gained weight was when I was at my happiest. When I was only 20 years old and single for the first time in years and spent every day goofing off with my roommates who felt like family.
French toast.
Going on weekend trips and scarfing down nachos while drunk at 3 a.m. on a Saturday. Then again, when I turned 23 and I quit my job and spent the next year traveling to nearly 30 countries and eating anything and everything that came my way.
Sorry, I'm like not.
When I was 28 and started dating someone new, and I forgot to track every meal and every workout because we were too busy exploring new restaurants and watching Netflix in our PJs.
Dude, it's so good.
This is so good.
Isn't it the best thing you've ever had in your life?
Yes. Hold on, I'm cleansing my palate.
Dude,
this tastes like
It's so good.
Disneyland. Like if Disneyland was a food, it would be this.
Let's go on a...
I don't look back fondly on the times when I missed dinner with a friend who was in town because it was on a Wednesday and I couldn't miss a weekday workout. Or when I said no to an event because I had already exceeded my calorie limit for the day and didn't want to do any more damage. The craziest part is that I was never actually unhealthy. My BMI was always in a normal range, my blood work was stellar, and I could always run a mile if I really pushed. And yet, the difference of a few pounds could make me hate everything about myself. Nowadays, I'm not at my skinniest, but I am at the healthiest I've ever been. I can squat my own weight, I can run a mile in less than 8 minutes, I can easily work out for 2 hours a day, not because I have to, but because I found a sport I love. I finally learned enough about nutrition and my own body that I can eat intuitively and still maintain where I'm at. I crave fruits and vegetables, stop when I'm full, and eat anything that appeals to me. And yet, I still feel anxiety when I see that the number on the scale is higher than it used to be.
Please. Get us a
wine opener? No, I guess I did.
It's a picture perfect kind of world with you, and I don't know why I'm standing here while the rain is falling down.
Good morning. I really wanted to make peanut butter banana toast and avocado toast this morning, and I went into the kitchen and looked at our bread, and both of them were moldy. So I ended up ordering from Gorillas because I was too lazy to leave the house. I'm very tired right now. I got a very random assortment of groceries, including Dave's Killer Bread, some lettuce for salads later, grapes. Love to have these to snack on. I've been loving these as well. They are gummies that only have like 100 calories in them. Oh, these are sour. Oh. Moment of truth. Hey, she's perfect. Wow, I've not had a perfect avocado in a long time. Let's get a nice little up close look at that girl. I couldn't decide between savory and sweet, so I ended up with some banana toast and some avocado toast. I know it's a cliche, but honestly, avocado toast is such a beast. Building a healthy relationship with food takes time. Healing takes time. Learning to love ourselves takes time. What do you think?
I like them.
I like them too. The thing is, the scale doesn't tell the whole story. We are more than our weight, our age, or the grades we got in a test. We are more than numbers. We are the memories behind the food and the joy behind the wrinkles around our eyes.
They suck.
They do not suck.
In high elevation, they dry out.
She's a liar. I've always been jealous of people who were raised with a healthy relationship to food, who were active because they were naturally athletic and liked sports, who reached for apples without a second thought and never binged, and who didn't have to think twice about going to McDonald's because they knew they'd naturally order a small fry and burger and not eat much the rest of the day, without planning or intending. The people whose lifestyles allow them to stay thin without it having to detract from the rest of their lives.
Really had to think hard about that one, huh?
But I've come to realize I'm just not that person. And maybe one day, if I continue to build a healthy relationship with food and say no to diet culture, no matter how tempting it may be, but I'm not there yet. And therein lies the true question, the true reality, the true trade-off for those of us who have never had the luxury or privilege of being raised with the right eating habits. Maybe the price of being skinny is just too high. What I gain in validation, I lose in relationships and memories and joy and peace and exploring and traveling and indulging my curiosity in the world we live in. And maybe, just maybe, it's not worth it. I am cooking up some bacon preemptively because we're going to be making some breakfast for dinner tonight. I still have to go to Muay Thai. Alwa's currently at class right now. He's teaching the one before. Look at that. So beautiful. Let's have a little taste test, shall we? Bacon is so good. Oh my god. Why don't I eat this more often? Food used to always be on my mind. And it's taken me years, but I woke up sometime in these last few months with the realization that I had, for the most part, stopped thinking about food. Passion fruit pancakes for dinner? Hell yes. It's kind of weird how powder and water can turn into a food, but you know what? I'm not gonna question it. I don't know exactly when it happened, but I no longer struggled with sugar and binging and overeating because I was finally feeding my body what it wanted, and the excessive cravings started to go away. I sometimes still calculate calories in my head out of habit, but even if I know I'm eating an extra 600 calories by ordering a large milk tea with extra boba, I do it anyway, because I know that's what I really want in that moment. And by giving my body what it wants, that voice inside gets quiet for just a little while. It's not screaming at me because I want something that I can't have, and that peace allows me to focus on other, more important things. I used to think that being a better version of myself, being a skinnier version of myself, would unlock the secret to self-love. That I'd suddenly be okay with who I am if I could only get rid of the stomach rolls when I sit in jeans. We got ourselves some Chipotle. Always watching people make ramen.
Oh my god, I love Chipotle! Chipotle is my life!
Chipotle is my life.
But no one has ever achieved loving themselves just by being skinny. In fact, self-love has absolutely nothing to do with how small you are. Self-love is unconditional love, and unconditional love means accepting ourselves, no matter our current circumstances. And we got some Tostitos.
Some good
Authentic chips and salsa to go with our meal.
Gotta have the real
Maybe
stuff.
instead of body positivity, what we need is body neutrality, body ambivalence, body gratitude. Maybe instead of waking each day and telling ourselves we look good or ugly or fat or pretty today, we should stop spending so much time looking in the mirror. Maybe all we need to do is simply thank our body for carrying us through this crazy life and then get on with all the things that our lives are really supposed to be about. As always, thanks for watching and sticking around. I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.